September.
So Mark, what'd you see on film that you liked? Maybe that during the game you didn't notice.
I just think we went through the process. We had a plan of how we wanted to attack if things went well, as far as getting a lot of guys in the game and breaking it up. So I think the guys went in there and, and executed well. We didn't. There was no shortage of defense or nothing different. There was still 5 or 6 keys to victory that we give them every week, and the best thing about it was the guys went through the process exactly like the week before. When we played Florida, so I was excited about that. And we were able to get the ones out early in the second quarter. We were flip-flopping the ones and the twos for the first part of the game. We got them out by 5 minutes into the second quarter, I think, and then the twos played up until a couple minutes left in the third quarter. We put the threes and the fours in to complete the game. So a lot of kids got a chance to play. A lot of guys who do great work on the scout team for us, got a chance to get in the game as a Hurricane. A lot of guys played their first game, so it was nice to be able to get it all the way around.
I asked Al the same question yesterday. How much, you evaluate out here every day, of course, but how much nicer is it when you're talking about twos, threes, even fours, to see what they do under the lights?
Good question. We always talk about daily out here is a quiz, and when you go under the lights, it's a test. It's no different than the classes they have. They got a bunch of quizzes that are out here, and you got to do well on the quizzes every day. But ultimately, your grade's going to depend on how you do in the test. Really, that's the best analogy I can give.
Was there somebody who played so well in the game where you said to yourself afterward, this guy needs to play more if he does the right things in practice? Anybody like that, Mark?
I don't know. I think I think a lot of guys improved. I think what happened was a lot of we had 2 weeks, and we really coach had a great plan. We had 7 practices over those 2 weeks, and we really had a detailed plan on how to get the team better. So regardless, some guys got less reps maybe than we had hoped. But the situation dictated that. But I just thought on the whole, we had a lot of guys improve. I think the guys I talked about before the week that really improved, I thought were Kamalu and Hamilton, Artie Burns. Those guys in particular stood out. They were able to expand their role in this game based on the work that they did in the previous 2 weeks.
Mark, Earl Moore, his improvement, how much from last year? I know he got a pick.
Yeah, he got a pick. There wasn't much vertical on that one. I told her we have a drill we call tuck before 2, when you go up, and you guys have seen it, where they pick off the ball and they got to tuck it in before the 2 feet hit the ground. We called it tuck before 1. I think it's 1 foot hit the ground, but we had to give him a hard time on that. But he did a good job with it. He caught the ball and he did. He pulled it in. He tucked it in. Outside of that, he's really doing a good job with his technique. He's getting better every day. He's giving us a great look on scout team. He's prepared to give us reps, when he needs to. So he's one of these guys that's not pouting about his circumstance. He was a 2 most of last year and played a lot of reps for us, and he's not doing that. He's improved, which means if he's improved and he's a 3 instead of a 2, then our team's a lot better.
Quan seems like a real confident kid, and obviously his production is doing pretty well. Did you know he'd be this far along? When you guys got him?
I did. I expected him to come in and do exactly what he's done. I think I've talked about it several times with you guys. We were talking about in the spring. Where's the pass rush going to come from? All those sorts of things. And I alluded to the fact that the guys that we were bringing in were going to be able to help us. I knew Tyreek was going to be able to help us. Tyreek did a nice job last year for us, and he's done that. So, I felt good about it, and I still feel good about it. And the thing about Quan is he's a mature kid. He's a kid that he went to Don Bosco Prep. He didn't have to. He's from Newark, Irvington area, which is 45 minutes an hour away from Don Bosco Prep. So he went to a private school, and he had to go to work every day, and go back and forth and travel. He's got a maturity about him that I knew. Mature kids can come in here and handle it. As freshmen, they have mature things. They can come in here and handle it. So I'm not surprised about it.
Where's Jermaine Grace, I guess, right now? He played well at the team tackle.
He did? He led the team tackle?
Yeah.
He did. He was funny. He came up to me after the game. He said, "Coach, thanks for giving me an opportunity, not giving up on me." And he said, "I had 6 tackles." He told me that. So he was counting. I always joke with the guys. I said, "You count your tackles?" So he told me how many he had. So I guess he had 6. But, just getting better. He's a good athlete. And, he's got good instincts. He's learning the defense. And it's not easy. It's not easy as a freshman, and we're multiple front, multiple coverage, multiple blitz, and we do a lot of stuff on defense. So he's just got to get in the book, and he's got to learn.
Where's he doing the majority of his work for you guys?
He's playing. He's the 3rd will linebacker, and then we get him a lot of reps on special teams, and we get him a lot of reps with our 3rd down package. We're trying to groom him along behind Tyrone Cornelius in that role. Tyrone's done a job for us a couple of years, so we're trying to groom Jermaine in that role.
What can he learn from a guy like Alex, who came in and obviously looked like he was, ready for the part?
Yeah, he can learn a lot. Fig's biggest thing was his toughness, and physically he was up to the challenge because he was 235 pounds. Jermaine came in here, 202. So he had the same amount of time. He was 202 or 200 pounds when we signed him, so he had the same amount of time to gain all that weight. And it's just in steps. The same guys who weren't gaining weight for us when they were freshmen and sophomores all of a sudden, figured it out this year. Tyrone and Denzel and all them. So we're just hoping he figures it out a little bit quicker, and he looks to guys like you're talking about, like Fig or Denzel, who played at 205, 208 pounds as a freshman, and now is 239 pounds, and you can see the difference in his play. So just he's just got to buy into the whole deal, the whole process. And sometimes the freshmen, they got so much going on. They're here in camp, and you have them for 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden you don't. Now they're going to class, and they got to study hall, they got this and that. They're trying to be a regular student, and you got to be locked in during the football season. You got to be locked in.
What do you think about how Dion played in this first game?
I think he was a little rusty, to be honest with you. I think there's no substitute like we talked about. He's out here doing the quizzes, but when you get out there and it's a test, and team's giving you something different maybe than you haven't seen. There's different formations, back on the back end. You got to play fast. You got to communicate fast. You got to get us in the right defense. You got to react fast. So I think it was good that he did that. I think he made progress over the 2-week period, and I think he had to go play a game so he understands exactly where he's at. I think that's it. This is where you're at. This is what happened on the film. This is your grade. This is what you need to improve on. I think we'll see much improved Dion this week.
Mark, Anthony Chickalo, now he's a veteran now. Had some struggles last season. How has he improved, and mentally, physically?
Yeah, I don't know if he had. I don't think anybody ever heard from me that he had struggles. I think again, at the end of the day, a lot of people, the problem, with Chick is everybody wants to see his sack reduction, and that's at the bottom of my list. To be honest with you, I want him to play hard. I want him to play his gap. I want to see him do his job. And if he just lives up to our standard, he'll be fine. And that's all he's done since he's been here. Is he's improved each year. He's again, gone from 238 to 274 pounds, executing his role. Third down package, he's gone ahead and kicked inside because we got two guys who can rush off the edge. We got Quan and McCord out there, so he goes down and plays tackle for us. So he's smart. He goes in there and he gets after the quarterback. He's gotten hits on the quarterback. He's gotten sacks. He gets stuff because of his effort, because of his technique, and because he knows what he's doing. So I just want him to keep doing his job, and the stats will come and those things. But that's really not what we're about. We're about winning, and we're about executing the defense, and he does a great job.
Al said there's 5 guys playing over 45 snaps. Do you know who they are on your side of the ball?
I don't. Okay. I'm trying to think off the top of my head of who it would be, but I would imagine it's Perryman because he plays on a third down package. Shaun Green's off. I would say in the early couple of games probably Casey and Jenkins because we were down to safety. Would stand up at the top of my head. Probably also Pierre. We hadn't taken him out a lot. Probably Chick. I would guess those would be the guys, but. We'll see if I can guess right. I don't know.
Speak to the benefit of that, I guess. Just the fact that you guys are so fresh, maybe.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. Again, I talked last week about when I mentioned 19 guys playing in really the first 2 games. When I was talking about that, I meant first and second down with the game on the line. Then we were able to bring in Quan and McCord on third down. So we're trying to expand that. We played a lot more. Obviously, in this game, in the first 2 quarters, we probably played 27 or so, and we probably played over 40 guys in the whole game, maybe more, maybe 40 plus, counting all the guys that we put in the end. So that certainly helps, and it was good to have a bye week. Again, so now we're getting into the meat of our schedule here, and the guys haven't gotten beaten up on. They're able to maintain their strength, maintain their weight. Actually, not even maintain their strength, actually get stronger. We have guys making new highs all the time in the weight room in the season. That's something we pride ourselves on.
To follow up on that, what was the highest snap count in that game defensively?
I think A.J. Highsmith had 31. I think he had 31. I don't think anybody else had over 30. I think Cornelius was probably 28 or 29. We had a lot of guys in the 15, 17 range, across the board. So I would have liked a few more, but it was what it was. We were hoping the ones maybe got a little longer run, and as soon as we got an even longer run after that. But obviously we were trying to get a lot of guys in the game and make sure we got out healthy.
It seemed like AJ had a lot of congratulations on the sideline after his pick.
Yeah,
gratifying to see him get that.
Yeah, he got the pick, and the one before that, they threw that toss pass, and he had a chance to get that one. So I think he was down on himself, a little disappointed. I think the guys were giving him a hard time that he didn't come down with that one. So I think that's what that was all about. So they gave him a hard time after the first one, and then he got the second one. So that was good.
A few guys were pretty livid on the sideline after you did give up a touchdown. Was it good to see that mentality from your guys?
Yeah, it's good to see that. That wasn't the players' fault. We were trying to make some substitutions, and they didn't have a call. So we saw the game. We saw they were all standing there, and the guy just served us. So it's a shame that it counts and we didn't get the shutout. And but at the end of the day, it wasn't anything that they did. So I'm glad they're mad. I was mad too. Awesome. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.